Hey, Coach Candace here, and I just want to share a small personal story with you. It's been something that's on my mind a little bit these past few days as I think ahead to like my personal goals for 2026. But also too, perfect timing. I attended a small mindset seminar yesterday around goals, and I feel like it all goes together. But first I want to talk about this story behind this shirt, because really like the topic of today's little discussion between me and you here is sometimes you have to believe it before you can see it. And honestly, it kind of came up yesterday a little bit too in the mindset presentation I attended, but that about becoming the person your goals require you to be. So, small backstory, one of my bucket list goals for a long time was to finish a full Ironman. It took me 3 attempts to do that. The first attempt was kind of out of my hands. They canceled the swim, but I did ultimately complete the distance for the bike and the run. On my second attempt, completed the swim. The swim was not canceled. However, I had a DNF on the bike. Very heartbreaking. Wrote a book about the story. You're welcome to check it out. Search my name up on Amazon. You'll find that. But then my third attempt was in Maryland, where I did ultimately finish it. Awesome experience. But the story being is, I want to say one of the most expensive shopping trips you can make is after you check in and you go through the vendor tent. You could probably easily spend $100 in 5 minutes. But ultimately, this shirt was there, and it says Ironman finisher. But yet I didn't feel as though at the time I was an Ironman finisher, and almost felt like to buy the shirt ahead of time would be to like jinx myself. And so I almost didn't buy it. I kind of just like at first made a mental note of it and thought like I'll buy it after when I know I've finished, because in the back of my mind I kind of had those other previous experiences where I did not finish and really ultimately didn't want to feel like that again. And but something told me, I want to say it even came down to like buying the sticker, the 140.6 for my truck. Like I was almost hesitant to buy that because I was like, well, what if I don't finish? But then something told me that like I just need to buy this shirt. Like I did that back when because I had a similar experience at my very first half Ironman. I was reluctant to buy the shirt that said Ironman finisher or half Ironman, because what if I didn't finish? And but I did. So again, was hesitant to buy the shirt and the sticker, but I ultimately did before the race. And I want to say I also had a visor that said Ironman finisher as well. And even talking with my coach, it just became things of like telling myself, like coming down that final portion of the race, which is the run, some things I would repeat to myself over and over again is I'm an Ironman finisher, I'm an Ironman finisher. Was I technical yet? No, but I had to believe it and to keep pushing towards that goal because I just had a belief in myself that I was. All that to say, people are going to now, like, as I record this today, it's December 17th. We're about 2 weeks away from people making New Year's resolutions. And many times people start off being vague, and sometimes they're going to go by that past experience. I know I've made goals before only to fall short. That's probably just going to happen again, so I won't bother to set any. And I will never not encourage someone to make those goals. I mean, on the one hand, I can make the argument like you don't need to wait for January 1st to change your life. That can happen on any day. January 1st, I think, is a Thursday. Like, you could start tomorrow is Thursday. Like, that's a perfect Thursday to start. Like, you don't have to wait for January 1st. But that's a whole other story. But honestly, personally, for my backstory, the year I made New Year's resolutions for myself was the most life-changing thing. Like, I had a goal of losing 25 pounds and I did. Like, I had to develop and change habits to accomplish that. Like, I wanted to do like the Spartan Race trifecta and I did that. And then I also wanted to do a strict pull, but I ultimately accomplished that, like all because of New Year's resolutions. So in that same conversation, I'm never not going to suggest you set a New Year's resolution, but perhaps like maybe the way you've gone about it in past years was kind of like setting yourself up for failure, but you can accomplish something great, but sometimes you have to believe it before you could see it, regardless of what has happened in the past. So how can next year be different? Or even if you decide to start tomorrow, like how can it be different? One is having SMART goals. Smart goals are those that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Like, don't just say, oh, I want to be a healthier person in 2026. Well, what does that mean to you? Maybe a healthier version of yourself is losing 15 pounds. Like, that is specific. That is something that you can measure. A 15-pound weight loss goal in a year is absolutely achievable, and it is realistic and time bound. Like, to have a year, like, that's like less than a pound, like that's less than a pound a week, and we probably only require small tweaks on behalf of yourself to accomplish that. So like, don't sell yourself short. Like, sometimes people overestimate what they could do in a month, but underestimate what they could do in a year. So that is something that you could do. But you know, like you also can't expect things to be different and stay the same. So some part of you has to let go of those habits that aren't supporting you and become the person your goals require you to be. So some things that'll really help you with that is, one, like your systems must match your aspirations. So it's wonderful that you have that goal, but like, how are you gonna set yourself up for success? Maybe that's, again, being specific. Like, maybe I'm gonna take my lunch to work 3 days per week versus ordering out every day. Or I'm gonna meal prep on Sundays, or actually probably better yet, like I'm gonna meal prep Thursday evening so I have healthy meals for the weekend. You gotta have that system in place to help you become the healthier person, but also define what that healthier person is. What does that healthier person do? Like, just kind of like picture like your alter ego, that other person who's successful, like what are they doing? And your identity must match those ambitions. So if you're persistently saying stuff to yourself that is negative, like, I always start stuff and then I quit, or I've tried this 10 times before and I've never been able to do it. Like, none of that is a positive identity that identifies with or helps support a healthier person. So like, not only is it changing your habits, but changing your mindset. And again, believing it before you can see it. Like, hey, I might not believe I'm the healthiest version of myself yet, but at least I did take my lunch to work twice this week. And lastly, kind of like what I've been mentioning all along, is your habits must match your desired outcomes. Like, if you're like, hey, I want to be a healthier version of myself, but you continue to eat out every day or to eat out like 4 and 5 nights a week, like those habits are not supporting your outcomes. Like, you need to, like, again, change is not easy, but change is necessary, because otherwise, like, if you expecting to do the same things over and over again and expecting something to be different, I'm sorry, but they might call that is how you define stupidity. I don't want to call you stupid. But expecting to stay the same and wanting things to be different is not going to happen. Like, you need to let go of something. And for myself, I did have to start meal prepping. I did have to bring my lunch more often than not. There was things I needed to avoid for a period of time. And again, I can go into a lot of stuff that was like a trigger for me when I was trying to lose weight and working as a full-time nurse in the hospital. Like, I had to bring my lunch because going into the hospital cafeteria was too much of a trigger for me to perhaps pick up something that I otherwise was not even interested in until I saw it. So I kind of needed to do what I needed to do to remove myself from that situation. Now, times I can walk through stuff and, and I'm not hungry for that and I'm fine. Or, no, I have my plan and I'm comfortable with that. Like, it took me time. So, but again, don't hold yourself to perfection. Like, it is going to take time to adapt and modify long-standing habits. Like, none of this is going to happen in the first 2 weeks of the new year. So I hope you found that encouraging. That was partly a lot of rambling, but I also hope you found an encouraging message out of that. And again, probably when I do sign my book and give that to folks, I always write believe and let it be possible. Sometimes one, we either don't believe it's possible, or we just don't believe in ourselves and now we can do it, and we don't let it be possible. We're just there's no way I can do that, and then you shut yourself down. So I'm sorry, with that attitude, you're not going to be successful. So believe it before you can see it. I believe in you, and so much of probably what gets at my heart with what I do is that I believe so much and believe in the possibilities of an individual, but probably the hardest thing is getting people over that hump and believing in themselves. So believe in yourself just a little bit and show up consistently, and before you know, you'll have accomplished your goals, and you'll be like, I don't know why I didn't do this so much longer ago. So with all that, I hope you found it helpful. Any questions, any feedback, I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I wish you the best in the new year.